Tables there. Oh, thanks.
Feel like you got some sun?
Me?
Florida. Florida, me. Real quick. Yes, sir. Oh, we went over everything. Oh, you did? Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, what? I'm sorry. What did I reinforce and say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, good point. Good point.
Somebody put him down.
Good evening, everyone. Roll call, please.
Ms. Hutchinson?
Who's that? Oh, it was me? Oh, sorry. Here.
Mr. Meza?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Here.
Mr. Socia?
Here.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Here.
Mayor Womack?
Here, sunshine notice, please.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231, PL 1975, specifying the time, date, and location by posting a copy of the notice on the municipal building, municipal website, providing a copy of the annual notice schedule to the official newspaper of the township, and is on file in the municipal clerk's office.
Councilman Davis, will you please lead us in the pledge to the flag?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a proclamation this evening, Child Abuse Prevention Month, and that will be read by our Council President, Amanda Guadagnino. Did anybody come for the presentation? Come right on up, everyone.
You're for a different one.
For the Child Abuse Prevention Month?
Oh,
Right on.
come on up.
Everybody who'd like to come up, everybody who's here, come right up.
The microphone's up there by the...
Just leave room for the council president.
You can just line up. Thank you.
Stay in front of me. Oh, gotcha. I knew.
This is the proclamation by the Mayor and Council Township of North Brunswick. Whereas, children are vital to our state's future success, prosperity, and quality of life, as well as being our most vulnerable assets. And whereas, all children deserve to have the safe, stable, nurturing homes and communities they need to foster their healthy growth and development. And whereas, child abuse and neglect is a community responsibility affecting both current and future quality of life of a community. Whereas, communities that provide parents with the social support, knowledge of parenting and child development, and concrete resources they need to cope with stress and nurture their children ensure all children grow to their full potential. And whereas, effective child abuse prevention strategies succeed because partnerships created among citizens, human service agencies, schools, faith communities, healthcare providers, civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and Council of the Township of North Brunswick, do hereby proclaim April as Child Abuse Prevention Month and urge our citizens, businesses, and organizations to increase their participation in our efforts to support families, thereby preventing child abuse and strengthening the communities in which we live. Thank you. Did anyone want to say anything? Do you? Okay. You. Never mind. I'm sorry?
So we planted the pinwheels.
Oh, go ahead.
So the North Brunswick Women's Club planted pinwheels in front of the municipal building in our Rose Garden, actually. And the pinwheels represent the fun and loving environment that we would love all children to grow up in.
Thank you. Oh, no.
The North Brunswick Women's Club is a vital and important part of our community. If you just take a minute and tell us a little bit about the Women's Club and what you've been doing and the kind of activities you do to, you do so much for our township, but the things you do.
So the North Brunswick Women's Club is actually going to be celebrating 60 years in North Brunswick. Founded in 1965 by Ruth Supp. Throughout those years, the North Brunswick Women's Club has sponsored many events and done a lot to support the community. We do fundraisers, obviously. That's how we're able to support our missions. But some examples of, we provide scholarships, North Brunswick High School and vocational school, Meals on Wheels, food bank, schools. Yes, the veterans, we do the flags, we do the Wreaths Across America. If we're aware of something that needs to be done in the community, we make every effort to be a part of it.
Thank you. Thank you, Laurel. Thank you all for everything you do. Next, we have some Mayor's Wellness Challenge awards. Ms. Benson?
Thank you, Mayor Womack, and good evening to everyone joining us. I'm excited to share. We have our Mayor's Wellness recipients that are with us tonight, and I have our Recreation Advisory Council member, Carlos Socio, with me to help make this presentation. And Mayor Womack, thank you always for your support. So we have a challenge, usually runs about 6 weeks, and the entire community is invited for our next challenge. So that's all of you in this room. Please put on your sneakers or get ready to swim or cycle to join our Mayor's Wellness Challenge. But this challenge that we just did finished on the 31st, and we are going to recognize several of the participants that did wonderful in the competition. So I'm going to ask Joanne DeLuca to come up, please. She was our front runner. Let's give her a big round of applause. This is for you. Stay up, please. And the second place, this was a nail biter. Ro Tucker just edged out Dominic Macchio. And I'm going to call up Dominic, and Chris and Laura are here tonight. Let's give them all a big round of applause. They did an amazing job. Mayor Womack, thank you for supporting this challenge. The next challenge will run from April 21st to June 2nd. So mark that on your calendar, lace up those sneakers, and let's all get together. And someone has my camera. If they could kindly, I think Lisa, if you could take a group photo. Everyone turn your certificates, maybe face Lisa, and let me give you your bags. Ro, that would be great if you could. Thanks. So I don't look at whose name. Thank you. Mayor, this is Mayor Max. This is Samantha's. One more time, let's give them a big round of applause. And I know I'm going to see each of you in the next Mayor's Challenge. Thank you all.
I'll call upon Mr. Ron Gordon, our Township Attorney, to give a brief explanation of Resolution 129-4.07.
Thank you, Mayor. So whenever there's a vacancy on a governing body like the North Brunswick Township Council, the municipal vacancy law establishes the procedure for filling that vacancy. If the vacancy was from an elected member or a member of a political party, once the vacancy is in place, that political party submits 3 names for possible candidates to be submitted to the governing body, and the governing body chooses who will fill that position for the balance of that term. So this evening, we have a resolution before the governing body appointing a person to become a council person to fill the unexpired term of former council member Tony Shadid. So, Mayor, with that, that's the process that we're going to file. We did receive 3 names from the local party, and it's now up to the governing body to accept one of those names to fill the unexpired term.
Thank you. The Democrat, according to the resolution, the North Brunswick Democrat Organization has submitted the names of Ro Tucker, Pat Norsha, and Alvin Rich. Is there a nomination from the council from amongst those 3 names?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to nominate Mr. Alvin Rich.
Second.
Thank you, Councilman. It's like seconded by the whole council, it sounds like. All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Hutchinson?
Yes.
Mr. Mehta?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Congratulations, Mr. Rich.
Alvin Rich,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and justly perform
all
the duties
the duties
of the office of councilperson
of the office of councilperson
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Welcome aboard.
First and foremost, I want to thank God. Without God, none of this is possible. I want to thank my my beautiful wife, Taiwan, my role model, my big brother, Anthony, and my sister-in-law, Daphne. My mentor, where is he at? In the back there, Dr. Z. He saw something in me a few years ago that I didn't even see in myself. And I love that man like a brother. Briefly, before I go on, I just want to thank everyone that's here. I want to thank Edmund Palmieri, Eddie Palmieri, his son, Daryl, my teammates, my old teammates, Steve Worthy, Daryl Smith, all the guys I work with, from Jason to Mike to LeVar to George, to Majed, to Tony, to the chief, my guy. I'm gonna make it quick. I just want to say this. You know, I'm gonna do the best that I could do. I was talking to some students today because I work in a high school, and I was telling the students, I said, you know, basketball used to be my passion. From the time I was 14 years old till the time I was about 28, almost 30 years old, basketball is my passion. When I crossed paths with Dr. Z, I found out that I had a new passion, and I was helping people, especially helping the youth. And I'm going to do the best that I could do. I look forward to helping all the people of North Brunswick, and I'm so thankful to be here. I'm not going to go on. Just thank you all for coming out, and I appreciate you all.
Chairman Zangara's provided some refreshments for us. Oh, yeah, you're that way. Chairman Zangara's provided some refreshments for us in the room right behind us here. So everyone's welcome. You do have to stay for the entire meeting. That's part of our rules. So even if you go, you have to come back. But we're going to take a 10-minute break so everybody can go back and congratulate Alvin.
Yep.
We'll reconvene the meeting at this time. Consent agenda consists of items A and B. Is there anyone who'd like to have either item pulled? Is there a motion to approve consent agenda items A and B?
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Abstain.
Yes.
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 Item number 10, Resolution 132-4.07. We'll defer to Mr. Gordon to give us a little explanation on what that is and why it appears on the agenda tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. The resolution before you this evening is part of the process that we've been going through regarding North Brunswick's fourth round affordable housing obligation. North Brunswick has a long history of meeting its obligations and being in support of affordable housing. In 2024, the New Jersey legislature adopted new rules and a new statute for how the affordable housing programs and obligations were going to take place. Back in January, the governing body adopted a resolution saying that we wanted to participate in the Affordable Housing Dispute Resolution Program. And while the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs came up with an obligation number for the township, after we reviewed through our staff and professionals the numbers and where the New Jersey DCA said that those affordable housing units could go, we determined that there were mistakes that had been made, that some of those properties were open space, some were small slivers that couldn't be developed. As a result of that, we appeared before the New Jersey Affordable Housing Dispute Resolution Program in front of retired Judge Jacobson. Judge Jacobson was the author of the affordable housing opinions that everyone ended up following during the last round in 2016. And a special adjudicator was appointed, Beth McManus, to assist the judge and the parties. The New Jersey Builders Association filed objections after several rounds of back and forth. We were able to come to a resolution that said that North Brunswick agreed that the fourth round affordable housing obligation would be in the amount of 225 units. In front of you this evening is a resolution that authorizes that number. That number was supported by Judge Jacobson in an opinion issued today regarding the process, and the Judge McCluskey, who is the Mount Laurel judge for Middlesex County, also issued an order today accepting those numbers and approving the proposed settlement. So what is before you this evening is a resolution that authorizes us to actually sign this mediated settlement agreement, which fixes our obligation at 225 units. I condensed that a lot, so if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But as legal counsel for the town, I fully support and request that you approve this authorized settlement.
And there are certain time constraints that we must approve it in a timely fashion. Is that
Yes, Mayor, absolutely. So the time constraints, we had to finish it up by March 31st, and it had to be either approved or not approved at the next available council meeting. That's why it's not on for discussion at a workshop meeting. The court was clear, either get it approved or rejected at your April 7th council meeting.
I listened in, but Mr. Ritz and Mr. Gordon attended the actual mediation, the hearing. So since we are moving it quickly, if any council person has any questions at all, I like the settlement number. I think we came out good. I think we got a good number initially. We challenged it and got a little bit out of our challenge. So I think we've done well.
I guess if I just ask one question, is with this 225, is this all new or stuff that's not even planned yet, or is there stuff that's in the works that we're about to start or that we're in the process of doing that can go towards this 225, or is this?
Yes, Councilman. So that is a number, but it is not necessarily the number of new roofs. It does not account for credits that you have or that you will have once your housing element and fair share plan is approved. And I am advised that your planner, Mr. Vigner, and Mr. Ritz have ways that we will be able to meet those numbers with properties that were approved in the last round, but we did not use the entire credits that were available, properties that have since come online that were not included in the last round, and some properties that will be coming online shortly. The planning board will have to adopt the housing element and fair share plan, which identifies how those units and credits will be put into place to meet our obligation. It's also my understanding that the proposed housing element and fair share plan is a matter for discussion at tomorrow's planning board meeting.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Good question, Councilman. Anyone else have questions? Councilman Davis?
Yeah, just real quick. So, in other words, if we approve or disapprove, whichever, then it's up to the planning board where we place these affordable housing units. I missed that on.
It's not necessarily that cut and dried. The township's obligation is to provide a reasonable opportunity for the provision of affordable housing. We don't actually have to build it. Sometimes that might require rezoning of parcels to make them available for development that's called inclusionary development that has an affordable housing component
But
to
this
it.
is a framework, not a like house by house.
Correct. You're right, Mayor. This is a framework for how we're going to get there. And the housing element and fair share plan is part of the master plan. If there are any rezonings or amendments to the zoning ordinance, as a result of that, that will come back to the governing body for approval. You're welcome.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to adopt resolution
So moved.
132-4.07?
So move.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Rich?
I abstain.
Ms. Hutchinson?
Yes.
Mr. Mehta?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve our minutes of the March 3rd, 2024 meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Since I don't think all of us were on the council at that time, roll call, please.
Mr. Rich?
Abstain.
Ms. Hutchinson?
Yes.
Mr. Mehta?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Socio?
Yes.
Ms. Guadagnino?
Yes.
Council President, do you have any announcements or information this week?
No, thank you.
You went to Florida for a competition.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, how did everybody do?
Everyone did great. Swim team, all the kids did fantastic. It was a good meet.
Councilman Rich, you need to understand after her kids go for competitions, they usually come back with new records. So that's why we always have to ask.
Oh, that's great.
Councilwoman Hutchinson, anything this evening?
No, nothing from me, thank you.
Mr. Maida? Councilman Maida? Councilman Davis?
Yes, Mac. Just a couple of things. Number one, the Vietnam Traveling Memorial Wall, which Ms. Benson is working very hard on. And what's going to happen with that on May 23rd is when the wall will be coming to North Brunswick, and, excuse me, and it's going to arrive on, as I say, the 23rd, and it'll be stationed on site through Monday, May 26th. May 26th, of course, being Memorial Day, and that'll be at Veterans Park at 11 a.m. So we'll be looking for people to stand watch. Besides, our police will be watching this. Unfortunately, in today's world, we have to watch and make sure that there isn't any damage or anything of that nature. So anybody, wants to volunteer for an hour or so, the clubs want to have anybody volunteer. And also, we're looking for donations from some of the companies around North Brunswick to offset the cost of this event. So it's really something that's amazing. I know they did it in East Brunswick, had a great turnout, and certainly looking forward to this.
When we talk about standing watch, are we talking 24 hours? We're looking for people to be out there?
From the hours of 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. will be what the public will cover.
Good. It's a very, Carol and I are going to certainly try to volunteer for that, because it's an honor. It's the least we can do. It's an honorable thing that everybody should, I hope, be able to do, because the wall is the Vietnam Memorial in miniature, and it does contain each and every name that's on the wall in Washington. So it'd be a privilege to be able to stand watch there.
And I'm sure, and Chief could talk about it another day, what the police will be doing in regard to that, so, as we get closer.
Councilman Rich, anything this evening?
Just happy to be aboard.
Good. Now, you'll note that either members of the council have either had very little to say or have had nothing to say, and then, of course, we get to Councilman Socio. So. Councilman Socio?
I only have to say what I'm given. But really quick, though, regarding the past weekend, we had a couple of events that fell victim to the weather with our Earth Day and our Holy celebration. So Luann and her department will be getting out word of when these reschedulings are going to happen. Thankfully, baseball got their opening day in before the rain, and they had a great Easter egg event that Councilman Maida was at. I saw in the pictures. So that was a great event. And were you there, Mayor? No, we weren't. Sorry, I thought you were. But that was a great event. So we thank everyone who came out to the Green Turtle. And moving forward, on Monday, May the 26th, we'll have our 46th annual Memorial Day 5K run and walk at Community Park. Check-in will begin on that morning at 7:30. The 5K begins at 8 a.m. We will have a children's dash for children ages 1 to 5, and all participants will get a ribbon. Pre-registration is still available before May 3rd, and that's a fee of $30. After May 1st, it's $35. And as always, if you dress in your most patriotic outfit, you'll be entered into our most patriotic outfit contest, and the top 3 will win a prize along with all of our other age categories for the walk and the run. And packet pickup will be at the park maintenance facility, which is in the back of Community Park, and we're just waiting on a date for that. So if you have any questions on any of the rained out, soon to be made up events, our Memorial Day festivities, you can give the department a call at 732-247-0922, extension 475.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you. Is there anyone who'd like to be heard in public hearing this evening, in our general public hearing? Mr. Nastis, come right up.
Good evening. I have a few things to ask. I understand we're having a court hearing on 497 Georges Road. Is that still on the calendar?
The court hearing? I don't know if it is or not, but
The defendant is seeking counsel and is scheduled to appear in court again on Tuesday, April 8th. That'd be tomorrow. Is he going to be there
the elected officials do not get involved in court business. So
Sorry,
I hope
can't hear you.
elected officials do not get involved in court business. So I hope he will be there. Unless he wants to get in trouble for not coming to court, I assume he will be.
Well, maybe Rich could tell me if he's going to be, all the charges against him are going to be in one meeting, or we're going to do one at a time?
The court's procedure and policy is if you have that when a defendant appears, all charges are dealt with at the same time.
All right, so if this thing ever gets to court and he is told that he has to clean the whole place up, he's going to give a certain amount of time to do so?
That will be up to the judge.
Up to the judge. All right, where's this supposedly court meeting going to be, in this office?
The court meets here, yes, sir.
Not going to be televised, is it?
No.
Oh, in court, okay, that's good. 777 Georges Road, which is really Adams Lane. This memo states that this is being managed by the police department. I don't know why. This is a code enforcement property maintenance issue. There's more than one person that lives in the house. So can you tell me why he wasn't notified of the violations? And if they don't want to talk to the owner individually, send them a notification or summons in the mail. What's going on?
I believe the police are handling it because within the police department, they have people who know that individual who they believe will be able to most effectively work with him to remediate the situation. But
Sir, this thing has been on the agenda since November, and I think it's time they did something. I mean, just clean up the garbage around the house is not a big discussion to have. There's more than one person that lives in the house, and there's no reason why the summons can't be given to someone that lives there, a property owner, his wife, or someone else to clean up the garbage. What is the big deal?
well, we leave those specifics to the discretion of the officer involved, whether it's police officer or code enforcement officer.
Well, who's the code enforcement? Or the code enforcement doing anything about this, or are they just watching the police department try to get it done?
I don't know the answer to that.
Would you mind asking them?
Everything goes back
What
in.
about all the garbage that's around the house? Oh, garbage there Saturday. Well, that's what I'm saying. All this stuff around the house, which is.
I know the last conversation you and I had was about the stuff that was outside the shed.
Yeah, there's
Chief-
a lot of stuff outside the
Chief,
shed.
Chief, we
Two
gotta
sheds there.
get you a microphone or something because the minutes of the meeting are in the future, though. Your voice doesn't carry that great.
All right, 886 Livingston Avenue. It says abated area cleaned and shopping carts removed. The area is not clean. There's still a grease machine there. The pallets still laying on the ground, and the winter leaves are still there. So that's not cleaned up as far as I'm concerned. And there are 3 vans there that haven't been run or registered for the last 2 or 3 years. So I think that should be looked at again. And I'll be glad to go there with Mr. Ritz to show it to him.
I'll ask him to have somebody out there.
All right, the other one is 984 Bergen Avenue. The zoning officer will engage with the owner following the inspection of March 21st. I'll come back.
Do you know if that occurred, Mr. Ritz?
I didn't hear the last one, what he said.
Well, he said zoning, but I think code enforcement officer will engage with the homeowner after an inspection. There was a follow-up inspection that was going to happen.
Zoning officer will engage with the owner following an inspection on March 21st.
That's for 984 Bergen, or a different address.
It's right here. You wrote it.
984 Bergen.
I'll have to check.
Okay.
All right. Do I sit down? You guys
Let me see,
want
is there, our rules are, everybody gets 5 minutes. So if there's somebody else who wanted to speak, they're welcome to come up. If nobody else is here to speak, then Mr. Nastis can continue. Mr. Nastis, go right ahead.
All right, 13 through 17 Beverly abated, unregistered disabled vehicles were removed, 2 summonses remain outstanding. Was that checked by the fire department and rescue squad?
That I don't know.
Well, the way those houses are built, you don't know?
We don't manage how people park on their private property.
Well, I'm notifying you that it is a fire hazard for them to park in the driveway because you can't get in and out. The entrance to the upstairs apartments are in the back of the building, not in the front. So first aid has to get to the back, or a fire truck has to get to the back. It's not going to happen because they're parked in the driveway. And rubbish and everything else is parked in the driveway.
Chief or Mr. Ritz, since it's been brought to our attention, could we just have somebody run by and make sure that?
If you think about it, there's nothing we can do, Mayor. The driveways are for people to park their vehicles in. So back in the day, when they built those houses, those were the driveways for those residents. So we can't tell people not to park in their driveways just in case there's a fire or a medical emergency. That's the driveway is for people to park in, otherwise they'd have to park in.
When we have zoning board, planning board reviews now for new construction, that's part of what they take into account, but apparently
They could,
Exactly.
they could park in the back beyond the building.
That's grass, you can't park.
Well, you could put stone down and make it a parking lot. All right, a couple of people asked me about 1091 Newton Street. They said there's a lot of, whatever you want to call it, in the front of the house, bicycles, kids' toys, and all that other stuff. And the other one was, some guy asked me about 888 Herman Road, in the corner of Herman and Newton. There are 12 cars out there parked every night, and he wants to know where all those people live. I don't know. But that was on a Saturday, and I know no one works on Saturday.
888, was that 8?
I think that was the number, 888 Newton Street. It's the corner of Newton and Herman Road,
Can we
right across
please
from the
put that on
library.
the list of ones we're going to check?
And 1091 Newton Street is down at the end of Newton Street on the right-hand side going towards the school or first aid squad.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else tonight who'd like to be heard in public hearing? Then is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? What we're going to do now under our, hopefully, under what we're trying to do under our new procedures is we're going to go over items that are going to be up on the next council meeting, and then we have a closed session, I believe. But we don't? Alvin and I went over it last night. We thought we saw a closed session on there. But
Next meeting.
oh, that'll be for the next meeting. Okay, so we're going to go over items that'll be on our next meeting, and so that we can talk about them more informally and look at documents or maps or whatever if we have to. We're going to move to the other room. It's still a public hearing. Everybody's still welcome to come over there. So we're just going to change where we're continuing the meeting. So give us a minute to make that move and feel free to come with us. So we had our meeting on Thursday with directors and the clerk's office and staff to try to make sure we had everything on the agenda. In theory, the rule is unless it's an emergency and approved by the council president, we won't be having anything added on that isn't considered at that Thursday meeting, and it was done so we can go through the list here pretty quickly. I guess one of the first things that we're going to be talking about, and I think it's something we're all very curious about, is how Cavell got her hair this way. So, yeah, it does look good. It does look good. We'll get a formal presentation at our next meeting about the audit, as is required by law. And tonight, our auditors are here to give us a preview and make sure that if anybody has any questions about the highlights or even the details of the audit, that they'll be able to answer them for us. Why don't you gentlemen come right on up and introduce yourselves and let us know what's happening with the audit.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for having us council members tonight. I'm Rob Provost. I'm the partner, along with Andy Hadжилek. He's still with us. He's enjoying life in Puerto Rico for half of the year, and then he fills in here and there throughout the year. But I'm still very much part of this job. Along with me is Anthony LaMarco. He's the lead supervisor in the job. I feel like just in case you guys had some really in-depth questions, we do have both audits with us. Where that aside, I was going to keep it very brief. But that being said, certainly answer any questions you guys have at all.
I guess we're most interested in the recommendations that you may have for what we need to do to tighten things up.
Great news. There's no recommendations. Again, Cavell and her finance team, amazing job. I think the fact that Cavell also does the financial statements, I think just really, really helps, get good control of everything. And, yes, we're going to issue an unmodified opinion, which is the best opinion you can get. No audit findings along with that at all. And, just to touch on it, too, we really do a lot of work. And the audit, general audit, township audit, 2 months, start to finish, roughly. It's a lot of work. We look at a lot of different things. In addition to the financial statement audit, too, we had a federal single audit on FEMA funds, and we also had a state single audit on 2 grants, the Green Acres grant, and then the Environmental Infrastructure Trust, which is kind of your iBank loans. So once again, we also issued another opinion on that, also unmodified, also no findings.
So all of us haven't been around so long, but can you just quickly clarify what the iBank is and what iBank loans are?
Yeah, absolutely. So we always find it kind of strange that it's even included in single audit to a certain extent because it's a loan. It's actually not a grant. But the state itself, as you do, the infrastructure-related projects and then you request reimbursement, the state just wants an overview just to make sure everything's copacetic and everything's meeting compliance requirements, which obviously flying colors, it was. But for us, it was always a strange one. They do mandate that we have to test it, and a single audit is any if total state expenditure is over 750, and if separately federal over 750, there's a single audit required. And then this year, they both exceeded those amounts. Come October of this year coming up, the threshold goes to $1 million. Both federal and both state. So, that could alleviate also single audit going forward. And that's the reason, too, I got both audits. You can see this is this year's, so you can see how much thicker it is even compared to, not to mention, every single year they keep adding audit requirements, new GASB standards.
You never had the chance to meet Councilman Andrews. That's a shame because he always enjoyed the night the auditors came. So.
But for us, at least for me, it's always easy when you have a great finance team, a great team, no audit findings.
So you'll be in a couple weeks. I guess do we how's the process? We have a hearing on the audit, or do you just come and make a presentation at the first part of the meeting at our next meeting? Is that correct, or?
Usually we do this, and that would be our part. However, I'll come to any meeting you guys want.
No,
Leave me there, but
this could be fine.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure if any council members have any questions about the audit, or if they want to have time to review it, we could let you know if we have more questions, and maybe you could come back at the next
Absolutely.
meeting if anybody's got any follow-up, because I know everybody wants to take a more detailed look, and besides calling you about it, if we
Yeah.
want to.
No, absolutely. We'll come back at any meeting you want. Just to touch on the timing, too. New legislation was supposed to come out in November to extend the audit 60 days past where it has been, which would have been 2/28/25, and that is when we issued the report. So I like to think it's compliant, but that legislation is still sitting there. But going forward, we're going to try to issue this. Cavell and I were talking already, maybe December, so it doesn't even bleed into the new year with budgeting and everything else going on.
Council President or any member, you have any questions? Anything? Thank you so much for coming tonight. We really
Of course,
appreciate it.
and let me know if you want me back.
Good, thank you. Well, next year.
Definitely.
Thank you, Rob.
Great job, Cavell.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Gallimore, it's all yours.
Hello again. I have an additional 4 items on the agenda for your consideration. Item number 2 is canceling expired grant balances. These are grant balances that are no longer needed, as well as grant balances that were not spent within the time frame, and so we need to cancel them. Any questions on this?
Do we keep the money?
No. The next item is a resolution for a Chapter 159, and this is for the 2024-2025 Operation Helping Hands, and this is for $3,374.28. Any questions on this item?
Chief Pataglia, you have the Helping Hands grant under you as well, right? Okay.
And the next item is an ordinance of introduction, and this is amending or bond ordinance that was approved back in September. We're reallocating appropriations from 95-gallon containers. We had about 523,000 allocated for that, and we're moving 300,000 to building improvements, and this is for the DPW building for improvements that are needed there for the men and women bathroom, as well as a steel gate that has to be built and some additional improvement.
So you can go into more detail. You want to go into a little detail on that right now to clarify? Come on up. Here you can, yeah.
So back in September, when you guys approved the monies for the toters, that was for our recycling crossover to, instead of the smaller containers, they're going to go to the automated one-arm trucks. So we had budgeted the $523,000 for, we thought we were going to be responsible for the cost of those. And when they came out with the contract, they said they would be supplying, IWS would be supplying the toters.
Toters are
Just like our garbage cans that we have, they're going to be similar. They're probably going to be blue, I think, with a different color top, like we talked about the other day. Yes. So I had begged Justine and Cavell to reallocate that money if we could, and she was kind enough to.
Are you building new bathrooms or renovating?
We're going to renovate both the men's and women's bathrooms at DPW, and we also have some building improvements that need to be done because the bottoms are starting to rust out, which you guys have all seen when you come down to our budget meetings. And we had also requested some funds for a three-sided building to house all of our equipment so we can get it underneath and get it out of the elements. So hopefully we're good with that.
Thank you, Director.
All right.
Last but not least is an ordinance of introduction, and this is amending and fixing the salaries and wages. We're adding various titles based on 2 contracts that will be approved at our next meeting, as well as we're also amending the ranges so that all of our current salaries are within the ranges.
Contracts or you're talking about union contracts?
Union contracts, yes. Any questions on this?
Thank you, Ms.
All right,
Gallo.
thank you very
Really
much.
appreciate it. Ms. Benson?
Thank you, Mayor Mack. Yes, ma'am. Thanks. This chair is so low. Good evening, Mayor Womack, council members, and our community joining us tonight. I want to thank Councilman Davis. He did a great job giving the details for the traveling wall. I'd just like to add a couple of points that on Friday, when the wall is being delivered to Veterans Park, we've been collaborating with the high school as well as Judd Elementary School, and the students will be out that morning to greet the wall and line up along Roosevelt. I think it'll be a great short history lesson and meaningful for both schools to be a part. So that will be the Friday, May 23rd. And then on Friday, May 23rd, approximately at 10:30 a.m., staff members, DPW, Parks, will start assembling the wall. And what I'm asking you also for your help, if you can reach out to any organizations, our sports groups, if there's anyone available that can assist to put the wall up, that would be very helpful.
I'm
So
going to reach out to Assemblyman Egan to see if there's any of the trades that may be able to send some people to help us who volunteer to do that.
Thank you. That's a great idea, Mayor Womack. I appreciate that. I just want to clarify that our police will be at the wall during the evening hours, and the outreach for the community is basically the hours of 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. So what we're doing is we have a master volunteer list. If you know of anyone in your organizations, friends, families that can stand watch, please email me directly. I have a master list, and all the volunteers are put to that one list so that we can coordinate that with the chief and his staff. And we are meeting tomorrow internally, the different divisions that will be working with the project at Vet Park at 11 tomorrow. And I hope to keep you all updated as we move along. We tried to make this project totally supportive onto its own. We're very close to reaching that goal. We're almost there. So even small donations, $5, $10, $20 are appreciated at this point. I know we're going to get there. Anyone listening, checks are payable to the Township of North Brunswick, and any additional questions, they can call our office directly. Does anyone on the council, Mayor Womack, have any questions of me at this time?
No, it's a good project. Thank you for all the work you've done on it, and I'm really I'm getting very excited about having the wall here. It's an important thing.
It's definitely going to be excited because Rolling Thunder is participating in this. For anybody who's not aware of Rolling Thunder, that's the motorcycles, and they come, so that's who we're meeting with
Yes.
tomorrow. We met with them before, last week, I guess it was, and then we're going to meet again tomorrow. So they take a big part of it, and they're working very closely with our police department.
Yes.
So that's going to be covered as far as traffic is concerned and everything of that nature. So it's like this, real tight together.
Ms. Hutchison, did you?
I just have, how do you go about signing up for, you said you needed a watch? Is there a
Yes.
sign-up sheet or someplace where we go to?
Actually, great question. Anyone that wants to volunteer, if they'll send an email to lbenson@northbrunswicknj.gov, and if they'll submit their name and the time that they're available, and then I'll try to work that into the master schedule. If it doesn't fit and someone else is in that spot, we'll try to work them close to the time that they can volunteer.
There's no kind of online sign up where people can see the blocks that are available? And
I can put something up that
Yeah,
that might be helpful so that,
Be good, yeah.
like a plans for a social media campaign, other than just a post? Like, is there
yes,
plans?
Craig Yetzko is going to start working on
There
that
we go.
big time.
Don't say
after
Craig Yetzko again.
After tomorrow's meeting, we just wanted to get one more meeting and make sure all the details were worked out amongst all the groups. And then full forward, we were going to blast everywhere we can.
I was thinking when we were listening to Mr. Nastis's comments tonight, he's a Vietnam veteran, so I certainly hope that there's still quite a number in our town. I certainly hope we can.
I nominated
Have
him to
them
come
out.
out for an hour.
Yeah.
There,
Let's make sure the area is perfectly clean when,
Yes.
when it comes out.
There is one more point I'd like to share. We always have a beautiful ceremony that takes place at 11. That will be again this year, but I am looking for a keynote speaker. If you know of anyone, a veteran, of course, that would be available to speak that day and can submit their names to me, that would be most helpful.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you all. Any questions, just please reach out. And thank you, Mayor, for your support, and Councilman Davis. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Battaglia? Oh, Ms. Benson, for the refreshments, the barbecue, the hot dogs, the hamburgers, the entire cookout on Memorial Day, that is, as always, the newest council member will be financing that. So right? Oh, okay. I just wanted to check. Chief?
So I'm assuming after that stellar audit, Cavell will be looking for a salary adjustment also? So I only have two things. The first one is it's a reoccurring. It's the sale of the abandoned motor vehicles. I believe that we had 22 this time. And the next one is accepting the grant for the Middlesex County got a grant from the Attorney General's office for, I believe it's $100,000, and they disperse it to certain towns that participate in Helping Hands. And Helping Hands is anyone that we Narcan, they have a counselor that goes up and follows up with that person and tries to get them into rehab and help them out.
That's a great thing.
It is a great thing.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Rich, you'll note that Ms. Benson had one item, Chief Battaglia had two, Mr. Bloyd has 9, and you get used to that pattern.
Don't get used to it, please. I apologize for the short list tonight. I have 9 items for your consideration this evening. The first one is authorizing the shared service agreement with Middlesex County Improvement Authority. That's what we spoke about earlier with the recycling for the toters.
And it results in a significant savings for us if it works out the way?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit cheaper than what we were paying. I don't know if it's substantial, but it's they're looking to improve the contamination. So I don't know how it's going to.
I know that during and
work out,
after
but-
COVID, it was just impossible to get recycling done properly. So I hope if we go within the county, you'll be good with that.
Yeah, it's the same company that we have right now. Currently, we're just looking to, they're looking to make it automated as opposed to, 2-3 guys on a truck. So it's going to be a one-man operation. So I think they were having issues, fielding a full truck. So that's where we ran into a lot of problems where, streets were getting missed and routes were getting pushed to the next day. So hopefully that alleviates that. Any questions on that one? My second item is authorizing the purchase of a 2025 GMC Sierra Mason dump under the New Jersey Co-op Purchasing Alliance, contract 24-43. Any questions on that one? The third item is authorizing an amendment to contract 024004 with Municipal Maintenance Company. They're the company that's responsible for our maintenance of our sewer lift stations. Any questions on that one? Fourth item is authorizing the execution of the change order number 24 at Brockwell and Carrington Contractors Incorporated for a decrease in the door hardware allowance in the amount of $3,343.43. Any other questions on that one? The fifth item is authorizing the advertisement of receipt of bids under the Department of Public Works for the irrigation maintenance services. This includes the municipal building, once we get our irrigation system in place, the parks that we have irrigation systems in as well will be included in this contract. This is a new contract that we're looking to bid out so we can. We have a service for our parks, but we're looking to get it contracted so because we run into the problem where we get above our threshold. We get right at it and we don't want to do that anymore. We want to be able to just contract and not have that threshold bound. Any questions on that one? Item 6 is authorizing the advertisement, receipt of bids under the Department of Public Works, purchase a sewage grinder. This is what we spoke about earlier, yes.
And where will it be placed?
West Lawrence Pump Station.
For anyone who's listening, this machine, for all of the moms out there that have kids and the wipes say flushable wipes, they are not flushable wipes. Please do not flush them. Please throw them in the garbage. Director Boyd told us earlier today that they pile up and they float to the top and they create a barrier on the top of the, what's it called?
Raw sewage.
The
Pump station there?
Yes, pump station holding containment center.
And then, so now we have to buy this machine to grind up the wipes so that the water is processed properly or the sewage is processed properly.
That is correct.
Don't flush your wipes.
If it builds up and it gets into the pumps, it can clog the pumps, and that can become a costly repair.
So just throw it in the garbage instead of the toilet.
Any other questions on item 6? Item 7 is authorizing an amendment to contract 20010 with landscape maintenance services under the Department of Public Works. This is a current agreement we have, and it's just re-upping with this company. Any questions on item 7? Item 8, authorizing ratifying an amendment to contract PRO 25039 with Applied Landscape change order number 1. This is if anybody's not aware, we have installed, this company installed a new turf at Sabella Field, and this change order was to fix the goalposts that were bent and to also put a fresh coat of paint and some pretty flags up top for directional.
Where are
The
we?
wind.
Where are they on the installation? Or
They're about 95% complete.
Great. Oh, good.
We got a portion of that, some type product was
They,
complimentary, right?
they threw, yep, so this is the first field in New Jersey that's being installed. So what they wanted to do was include a cooling pebble that it's really for warmer weather states like Texas and Arizona and states like that have, 100-degree weather. So it keeps the core temperature of the field down by 30 degrees. So they wanted to put it in here at their cost. They didn't charge us anything to kind of showcase it in New Jersey.
But this turf doesn't have the little pellets.
The only, this is granulars, it's not pellets.
Okay.
And it's almost like sand, it has that gritty, sandy texture, and that all goes to the bottom, and it doesn't come up like those.
But in general, the field is different than most turf fields. It doesn't have the little rubber pellets,
No, that's correct.
which is nice.
Yep.
They're all over the house.
Any other questions on item 8? And item 9 is authorizing amendment to the 2025 professional services agreement with USA Architects, Planners, and Interior Designers, LTD, for services related to the restoration of the municipal complex. Any questions on that?
That's Mr. Campusano,
Pete Campusano,
the architects.
Do the article that you sent, Mayor, with the cuts, does that have anything to do with our resiliency center?
I think it will, Ms. Program. What talking about the fact that the administration cut the budget for resiliency out of the federal.
So that cut was the brick grants for the stormwater that we had in place that we spoke about prior to that happening. And that's not a good thing for us, but there's nothing we can do about it.
What about for our further efforts to make a resiliency center? How does that?
No, that doesn't affect that grant.
We
Because
have,
it's not a resiliency
right.
grant.
Well, we got that through special project funding through the DCA, those 2-year rounds. But some of those federal funds, to your point, have been,
Good. So it's bad, but not as bad as it could be.
Right.
Can I ask a stupid question? Is there any way with everything else going on, we can get that sensor changed before the next meeting?
So
One sensor?
we can go back to a light switch if that's the case. I'm fine with that. I spoke to our buildings and grounds worker last week about it, and the answer I was given was this is what we requested, but we can certainly go back to a light switch.
Good.
Or you can put a treadmill over there and I'll just run on it till the meeting's over.
You're a walker. You're a
Yeah, I'm
distance
probably
walker,
gonna-
not a
probably
runner.
gonna walk.
But can't you adjust the sensors? Can't you adjust these?
I'd be like, there's a sensor
That is a
over there.
sensor.
They just need to add a sensor somewhere around.
Well, we'll leave it to the director's good judgment on that. He's come through with a lot of stuff. At least we're not waiting for the inspector.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Director Ritz?
Good evening, everyone. So to clarify, following the approval of our administration elevator on Friday, the building fully opened to the public this morning. So we had residents that can now access the second and third floors. We didn't have a grand opening. I joked on Friday that we should have put donuts and muffins in the elevator with a Canadian flag, since that's where we waited to get our part from. But so we are fully open. We updated the website today, just to make everybody aware. So this first item tonight is combined between both my offices and Cavell's. We mentioned this right after the police moved in. Joe had a small change order, the chief, and now this is combined. These are just the final items that we're missing in terms of furniture and cabinetry that now that we're in, we didn't quite get from the big order. So
there's a larger story in that there was a good bit more furniture or expense that the supplier is actually throwing in for us. So we've got it's a good story.
The second item this evening is that at the next meeting, there will be a closed session. This is to discuss the area in need of redevelopment, which was designated, depending on what you know it as, either the Boy Scout property, the Wells Fargo property, the First Fidelity property. This will be the first time we have several new and newer council people. So John Barry from Higher Gruel will be attending the closed session and will be sharing with you the conceptual plans for the redevelopment of that property, which are, since it's a legal negotiation, they're considered deliberative and work product, and so that discussion will take place in closed session.
So we won't see the drawings before the session.
No, not before.
Okay.
No, you'll only see them in closed session.
Okay.
Correct. And then, Mayor, just an emergent issue to share with you and the council from today. On Hidden Lake Drive, this is mostly, I guess, Councilman Davis. On Hidden Lake Drive between Route 27 and Parkside, there is a culvert that is actually owned and maintained by Middlesex County. And they did a whole bunch of work there about a year and a half ago. And it came to our attention, and we reported to the county so over a week ago that there's elements of the culvert that are failing, and all of the land beneath one portion of a sidewalk has literally washed away, and so the sidewalk is sort of cliffed over. So we were speaking with the county today. They're authorizing emergency repairs. We have it blocked off. But in the next 2 weeks, one thing this may lead to for a number of days is closing Hidden Lake Drive in both directions, which we've done before when we were doing the road, in fact, when this culvert was first being repaired. And so it would involve a detour out Parkside to Ruth Road and Route 27. So it's not something we're unfamiliar with, but we'll be working with traffic safety, and we'll have to notify the school district. But they need to repair and reinforce underneath the road in the area of this culvert. So if you drive in that area, you'll see the sidewalk is blocked off with cones and caution tape, and the county was out there today. So they're doing it.
Road closure, we'll be sure to nixle and
Yes.
paper the
Yeah,
area.
I just wanted to give everybody an early heads up and the council people in that area.
Closure, or is that going to be like every day during work hours? Is that a long-term closure, like for a period of weeks?
It'll be, I don't want to say period of weeks, it'll be multiple days, 24/7. It won't just be during the day. When they close it, it will be closed. I don't think they know yet. They're bringing in, under their emergency powers, contractors to address this. They responded fairly rapidly to our photos. So we just spoke to them this morning. But I just wanted you to be aware, because it would be it's a big closure for a major road.
Yeah.
Down the block from me, they were doing a lot of construction in the street, going up to almost to the end. You know, I'm at 131. If you go up, when I was driving in, they were doing tremendous. I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah. That's not us. Is that the association?
No.
The county, maybe?
I think that might be, there was a water problem.
Just today?
I just noticed it.
It could be related to
I'll
this.
just double check on that.
Yeah, it could be really, because the culvert runs behind, once it crosses Hidden Lake Drive, it goes behind it's part of the 6 Mile Run. So it goes behind your community. It's the same brook from Sabella Park. This is farther down the path. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ms. Progman?
Thank you, Mayor. I have 4 items that will be on for consideration at the upcoming meeting. The first item, this is authorizing credit to a water sewer utility account. This is for a plumbing issue, crediting the months of January and February, a portion of the bill. The second item is this is authorizing a contract with Dynamic Testing. This is for compliance with some of the employee testing with DOT.
Can we go back to the water leak?
Sure.
I thought we decided that we weren't going to give credit to water leaks.
We
Unless we have some responsibility.
This just looks like someone sent an email and says, I have a leak. Can you give me a credit? My bill's high.
we do entertain, again,
We-
residential up to 2 months, as long as they've taken corrective action. We do a look-back period of what their normal billing is, what the billing was for those 2 months. They did rectify the issue. It sounded like they had a faulty appliance that was corrected.
I know we had gone over it. There was another issue that you and I had discussed months ago, but I think a distinction there, and you tell me if I'm wrong, because I don't. That was not a first request, or it was a continuing issue that continued after initial credit. I think.
Mm-hmm.
Is that? But what is? I mean, to be clear, what is our policy? Because I want to be.
They can always, come to the governing body and make a request. This is something, again, we typically do not approve anything past the 2-month, and we have to have clear action taken by the customer that they've resolved the issue, which this gentleman did bring in. Mr. Patel brought a plumber in, fixed the issue, and then he's seeking a credit for those 2 months that he had the issue. This is over at Renaissance. Some of those, they're older. Some of the homes there are older in the Renaissance. If it has some of the toilets are the original, if they've started to fail on the flappers, they sometimes. His happened where it sometimes it starts to get older and it doesn't stick, it doesn't come down right, and people can sign up to receive alerts, as he did, so that you can get an alert if you have running water. So this gentleman did take the corrective steps to fix the issue. The third item and fourth item, this is our 2 outstanding union contracts. We do have the 6 collective bargaining agreements for the town. 2 of them were currently outstanding. We've negotiated and have here presented for consideration settlement of the 2 current outstanding contracts. This is representing the blue collar, our public works, as well as our AFSCME supervisory membership. And those are the items 3 and 4. And we circulated the backup and supporting documentation, but we'll make sure you have the email, if you're on the email as well.
And has everybody? I didn't see all the correspondence. Is there like a summarizing memo that everybody has? Okay, good.
Yes.
Good. Any other questions for Ms. Progman? Ms. Russo?
Okay, I have one item on tonight's agenda. Ordinance number 25-02 for a public hearing, second reading. An ordinance of the Township of North Brunswick to acquire by negotiated agreement interests in real property in the form of easements along Cousins Lane on the official tax map of the Township of North Brunswick for Cousins Lane Sidewalk Improvement Project. And that'll be on for adoption.
We've talked about that in the past, but just to be, Mr. Ritz, to be clear, the county will do sidewalk improvements. We have to acquire. Is that this situation?
No, we also have to pay for the sidewalks.
Okay.
Yeah. This is just for the first phase, which is from the Wawa at Delta Court to the corner at Wedgwood. So this is 3 houses in the first phase.
Good. Anything else from any member of the council this evening? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Everybody have a wonderful night.
Thank you.